are no powers of attorney. The problem here is if there are gray areas, it's really hard because you've got to have somebody who's clearly incapacitated or in need of protection before a court will make an appointment. So if it's a gray area, no dice, okay? One thing I see a lot of is mental health. People who have mental health issues, if they don't have these powers of attorney in place and they go down a mental health rabbit hole, it's really hard to get a court to appoint a conservator or a guardian in those circumstances. It's really hard to show that person is incapacitated, okay? So it can be really great to have these documents, especially for those gray areas. But if you don't have the documents, you've got to show in a court this person is incapacitated or in need of protection. And for the medical and personal decisions, the court may appoint a guardian to make those decisions. And for the financial, in Colorado we split the two, for the financial they can appoint a conservator. If it's a family member, one person can do both, but if they are not family members, you've got to have two separate people in those roles, which is actually not a bad idea, because then you've got a little bit of checks and balances and two people watching out for the principal, which is good. The one thing I want to mention about health care, if you don't have a medical power of attorney, identifying your medical agent, the law in Colorado is a little weird. Basically, whoever shows up at the hospital, or whatever the case may be, basically they ask everybody to get together and choose a proxy decision maker. Okay? Now, I don't know about you, but let's think about our friends and families for a moment. Who's the loudest and the pushiest person in your family who thinks that they know everything and what's best for everybody? And is that the person that you would choose to be your agent? Because in this situation, there's a very good chance, unless somebody in your family has a spine of steel, that that person is going to be the one making decisions for you. Again, it may not be who you would want. And if there is a lot of fighting, again, they've got to go to court and say, hey, judge, we want a guardian appointed. And we don't necessarily know who the court's going to appoint. So that's what happens if you don't have those documents. These are just some